Hello everybody and happy International Women's Day. We're just going to do a short reading today on the topic of what do we need to know about International Women's Day and all that it represents and means. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that is most needed right now and to provide that in a manner that will be easily and effortlessly heard, understood, and integrated for the highest and greatest benefit of anyone listening on this reading now and in the future. I invite the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future to be present and facilitate this exchange, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to make sure that this happens in the clearest and cleanest and highest best way possible. I'd also like to invite the four archangels to come and hold the four directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of beauty, of wisdom, of transformation, of guidance, of all that is in our collective heart and mind at this time. And anything that doesn't match these frequencies is welcome to go now. Let's get to it. So my intention, as I said, is just to do a short reading. I'd like to pull a card for those who identify. What do we need to know? For those of us who identify as female or feminine. Here we go. And for those of us who identify as masculine, what do we need to know on this International Women's Day? And for those of us who identify as they or them, transcending the duality, claiming your capacity to express yourself in whatever way is best for you and what you need to know. Okay, so we start with the feminine. What does the feminine need to know on this International Women's Day? Success. This idea that we are, I say community here, people are celebrating together. This idea of celebrating how far we've come, recognizing that the journey may not be over. We may not have the equality or the recognition that we are perfectly equal internationally around the world, but we have come a tremendous distance. And this is something that needs to be celebrated. And also the idea of celebrating what it is to be feminine and whatever gender you choose to be, you choose to identify as. The celebration of who you are, the celebration of you in this remarkable human body on this planet at this time, having this incredible experience. This is what this recognizes. This is what we're being called to embody, this wonderful experience of being human. And in this case, because this is for the feminine, celebrating that feminine expression in whatever form it takes for you as a unique individual on this planet. So this is what you need to know for today and every day. And for the masculine, this is so wonderful. I love this. Okay, so we have a major arcana, and it's the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is all about pulling ourselves to a new perspective, a fresh perspective, seeing things through a new lens. This is this opportunity to choose to look around us and to see gender differences, the feminine, from a new place, recognizing that we are all the same, simply expressed in different forms and different bodies, which enable us to do and be and express ourselves in different ways. So this card, for those of you who identify as masculine, is inviting you to have a reframe on the idea of womanhood, or that which is of the feminine and is being recognized today. So this is your opportunity to pull yourself to a new perspective, to become an ally to the women in your life, and to recognize that, again, we need to transcend gender. We need to transcend this duality, just to recognize each other. And I don't mean that everybody has to become the same. What I mean, though, is that not being limited by what our conventional ideas of gender mean, and allowing ourselves to expand and become, I guess, more colorful, more lively, more authentic, more in tune to who we truly are, and expressing that in whatever way suits us best for the greater glory. So for the masculine, this invitation to reframe how you're seeing the feminine, to see women as, again, equals, but in a different form. And I know there's so many of you who already hold this and who are already walking this. And it's perhaps an opportunity to step it up even a little bit more and to speak up for the feminine and to be a champion of that equality and of transcending this belief that one gender could be less than another simply because of the form that it takes, which is incredible. Okay, and for those who identify as they and them on this International Women's Day, what do we need to know here? This idea of temperance. Oh my God, love this. Major arcana again. So they're important. And temperance is all about balance. It's all about not overdoing anything. This is about, so we have the angel here pouring the water into the vessel of the woman, and she's standing there. Well, could be a woman, could be a man, we don't know. But the gesture is, whoa, it's kind of like a bit of blessing and a bit of, okay, that's good enough. So this idea of balance, of not overdoing everything, of not being excessive, of not, of truly, and when I say being excessive, I'm talking about not overdoing what you in your heart know is true for you. So this possibility of expression for you that is authentic and true and balanced and holds you in the best way possible in terms of what you wish to express on the planet at this time. And I'm so grateful for you, because that busting up of the paradigms is essential. We're needing to move past the limitations that have been imposed simply because of the body that we're in. And so this freedom and this opening up and this claiming of the self in whatever way is best expressed through your uniqueness is so wonderful and such a gift to all of us. So those who are courageously walking this path, much love and light to you, and may you continue to do it well and wisely and hold all that goodness in you and express it beautifully on the planet at this time. So temperance is the message for you. And for all of us going forward, what do we need to know? Because truly we aren't divided. We simply have different ways that we identify, and as a result of that, we have different ways of looking at the world. And so what do we need to know, all of us, on this International Women's Day, regardless of how we identify? Interesting. So we have this card of indecision. So when this card comes up, it often reminds me that when we don't know what to do, it's not time to make that decision. And so here we have a woman, she's standing very, very quietly and still, and she's receiving information from her higher, wiser, broader self. There's incoming from all angles, and as a result, she's immobilized for the time being. It doesn't mean that at a certain point she's not going to know what to do and how to do it. But for the moment, when we don't know what to do, it's time to be still. It's time to receive wisdom and information, to ask for help, and to truly give ourselves the space to have that clearing so we can receive the information and move forward. And so in terms of our reading today, what are we needing to know about International Women's Day? There are transformations and changes that we need to take on a societal level, and those are happening. And different cultures have different degrees of their embracing of this. And it's a process. It takes time. But our willingness to celebrate the feminine and to celebrate what it means to be female and to honor it and walk it and hold it proudly and claim it, as well as our capacity as the masculine to reframe our relationship to the feminine, to see that it is simply the yin to the yang, that broader perspective and that broader understanding that yes, we may have different bodies and we may be expressing in different ways, but ultimately we are all spirit in human form, and that no one is less than another. That is super important. And so that is an important part of our transformation and our change on the planet. And the more the masculine, or those who identify as masculine, hold that for the collective, the faster this true idea of equality will embody itself on the planet. And then then this reading for those who identify as transcended, as they, as them, as those who are choosing their expression and who are transcending the limitations of gender, particularly in a culture that's been really bound by this for a long, long, long time. These are the paradigm busters. These remarkable spirits who are in service to the rest of us in terms of breaking up our limitations on the idea of what is feminine, what is masculine, and what does it mean to be spirit in body, expressing as the unique individual that we are here to be for the greater good. Because when we are expressed, we are the divine having a human experience. And why not be broader than the limitations of a culture, a narrow culture? Why not be more than that? Why not enjoy and celebrate what it means to be in physical form, whatever that may look like to you? And so if we come up against indecision or obstacles, recognizing that our holding of a different frequency in and of itself is changing the collective. Our embodiment of love and kindness and acceptance, especially self-acceptance, is very, very, very important, because energetically, vibrationally, frequency-wise, we're all from the same source. We're all coming from the same place. We are sharing a collective consciousness. And the more we're able to embody these alternate perspectives and frequencies in our own physicality, in our own cells, our own DNA, to actually change our biology, which is what happens when we change our minds and we pay attention to something new and different. We are actually changing our physiology, and that's very important. And so in the face of the planet where true equality perhaps collectively is not happening everywhere, where it is able to happen, we need to hold it even more intentionally and passionately and carefully and lovingly and kindly for those on the planet who may be in situations where they are not able to be as fully expressed as they need to be, who are not being recognized as the contributors simply because they are in a female form. We really need to get over this. This planet really needs all of us in our uniqueness, our beautiful expression, to do all the good work and that we're here to do. And we're holding back half of the human race if we're limiting them simply because of the embodied shape that they're taking. And we're also denying ourselves the benefits and the beauty and the grace of what is traditionally held in the feminine. And again, the power to those who are deciding to transcend that and to hold both in whatever measure and capacity they choose to, in a very strong and outspoken and passionate manner. Because truly, we are all of it. Whether we recognize it or not, whether we decide we're going to be feminine or masculine, or whether we're choosing to just hold the parts of both and have what we want and even transcend that and be androgynous, whatever it is that is most exciting and inspiring and holds you in your passion and your joyful expression on this planet is brilliant. So this is our reading. We all need to know that we have to do our part to hold this higher, broader perspective. So this is what this card is telling us. And perhaps it's not time for us to take action right now. It's time to build the energy, to build the field of love, of kindness, of acceptance, of tolerance, of respect, and to be it within ourselves, within our own field, to be it in our families, to be it in our communities, to the best of our ability. And then the transformation happens. It's like dominoes. It just changes. It takes a lot of individuals holding the different possibility in their bodies, in their fields, and ultimately it goes like like the domino setup or a house of cards. The existing paradigms fall away and change. And then we have profound transformation on the planet, which because you're here, you know it's necessary and you know you're here to do it. So I acknowledge you and I recognize you and I send you great love and hugs and appreciation across time and space. Creator, thank you for this reading. Thank you for all of us here acknowledging and celebrating the feminine today. Wherever we are, whatever form we've chosen to take, let us take a moment to recognize the sacredness and the blessing of the feminine, including our relationship to this beautiful planet, who is our mother, who is our home, who is taking care of us every day, who is providing for all of our needs. Let us transcend this idea that we are against nature, that we are against the feminine, that we are against each other, and recognize that we are all one, and that all of us together, pulling together, loving and being kind and respectful and of each other is the direction that will take us to the greatest and happiest, most fulfilled expression of our uniqueness and our collective experience on this beautiful planet. Much love and light to each and everybody today. I'm holding you in a good way wherever you are, and I wish you a very beautiful International Women's Day. Much love.